I'm just making a point. Like, it's not even me trying to be business-wise. It's just a point of more people would know that we're on YouTube.
Yeah, I guess.
Wah.
Yeah, you better where over there.
No, I'm not weighing for myself. I'm weighing at you. Like, you're the one weighing. Because it's like,
But
I
I'm not
can't
even.
decide.
I'm not even weighing myself. I believe you are projecting there.
No, I am just saying you sound like you're weighing.
That's just my voice! Anyways, hello and welcome to the AWKWARDCast, where ANY and Keyframe wonder about my voice.
Wait, are you saying wonder about random dribble or weighing about random dribble?
See? She keeps doubling down. Brutal. But I still haven't decided on my media yet.
Wah.
But hey, it's not just me and her. The third idiot is here too, as well today. I can't English anymore. Hi, Abby. How are you doing?
Oh god.
I'm doing all right. You know, had a few life changes happen since the last time I was on.
Shut up.
I guess this basically leads us right into the question for people.
Yeah, who are you? What do you do? And why should people care at all?
Exactly.
So, hey. Yeah, so
you didn't answer my question if you have
you
didn't answer my question if you have an online portfolio. So this was the best thing I found on top of your Twitter timeline.
Yeah, well, I mean that's basically what I use. So
perfect.
Currently working at DreamWorks as a layout production coordinator. But what I regularly do outside of that, artist, animator, storyboard artist, character designer, print designer for Doug Airholt, who is a voice actor. You should be following on his Twitter, by the way.
Head of the
He is very
Zenigata
funny.
fan club.
Drop me.
And I'm casually just tweeting about Lupin the Third if you dig that sort of stuff.
Please drop me his Twitter handle so I can put him in the description down below.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't have that. It's literally just my usual handle, which is this.
No, I think he's talking about Doug's. Darling.
Yes. I follow you on Twitter.
Well,
I don't need your Twitter handle. I mean, thanks for the offer, but
right now.
Here you go.
I am typing.
There we go.
Right now.
Dagger Holtz.
Yep, that one right there.
Hey, excellent, thank you.
And so, and even before all of that, though, I have been besties with Chrissy for like 14 years now.
But who is counting Chrissy?
Wait, where's the comma in that sentence? Like, is it who's counting Chrissy as a friend, or is it who's counting semicolon Chrissy as an I am? Like
the letter.
Okay. I'm just saying the way you spaced out the words was kind of concerning.
That's just my voice.
Hey, Wolfhead, you got some good material.
We're only 2 minutes into this.
I can see the Twitter video now.
And my voice has already been insulted twice. Or in this case, my way of saying things.
Your cadence was insulted, not your voice itself, hon.
So now we have insulted my voice and my cadence. Please keep moving on. I need to set up a whiteboard.
Would it be reasons to kill Chrissy or just reasons to cry? Because my whiteboard is reasons to kill you.
I know, but
would you actually kill me?
No,
do you have that?
It's more like reasons how you already have killed me, so I can cross off one of your list for each on my list.
Anyways,
Lauren.
So, what's been going on recently with you that you can say outside of NDAs?
Well, I can say in the time I started a little while ago back at DreamWorks, first studio gig, baby. So yeah, I'm like absolutely loving it so far. Love the people, love the culture. and I love the campus. I've been able to go to the campus.
The
Absolutely gorgeous
merchandise.
campus, by the way. And the merchandising. Love the merchandising. So, and I've been getting like a lot of goodie bag stuff mailed to me since most people are still we're at work from home status still for the studio until probably early September. And so, but yeah, I'm in feature. So we have, DreamWorks has TV and they have feature. I'm in the feature part.
You're working in the
I
pictures.
can't. Yeah, I'm working in the moving pictures with the silver screens. And, yeah, but I cannot say what I'm working on. All I can say is a feature. And that's all I can say about it. Because nothing has been okay to be
Everyone make your predictions below.
I was about to say, would it count as breaking the NDA if we keep hitting you with questions over and over, and then we see your face cringe when we are getting close?
No! First of all,
No,
Lauren
you
has
can't.
First of all, Lauren has a great poker face. Second, she just won't answer them.
Yeah, but that's the point. If you're really good at reading somebody, you don't need to hear an answer. You just you keep going, and eventually, like, you see this, like, flick, flick in the eyes or whatever, and then you are like, I got you.
If I send you merchandise, will you not ask me?
That maybe to him, but you're gonna have to bribe an entire chat of people with that logic. Oh, Magical does ask the important question of where is the Shrek 5 trailer? Yeah, you are a DreamWorks person. You should know. Where's Shrek 5, Lauren?
Yeah.
I can at least say there are zero rumblings of that right now because there's Puss in Boots that's being made right now. And that's public knowledge.
Well, there
so
you go.
It's not me breaking any NDA by saying that. Because it's like, how could you do anything so soon after Puss in Boots is when it's like right there? So I literally have zero idea what's going on.
Road to El Dorado too. So. I fucking wish.
El Dorado Boogaloo.
I did find out, because I didn't know that the voice of Tulio is a voice in Bob's Burgers, and I hate that. I don't want Kevin Kline to voice in other things. He's just Tulio.
I'm like, the voice of Tulio. I'm like, you mean Kevin Kline?
Yes, and I don't want him to voice in anything
else.
His most
notable role, Tulio in the Road to El Dorado.
Yes, a formative role for me. But it's like,
well, yes.
And for probably a lot of other women and men in non-binary pals.
You're not even including Phoebus. How dare you?
He's too chunky for me. Like, not chunky, bulky is the right word, not chunky.
Not too late. Chunky is a word we all heard, and therefore that's how you described it.
Oh, it's too late. It's out in the universe.
No, that makes it sound like I'm fat-phobic towards a character who's not even fat.
No, I'm like, it's just funny because I'm like, for the most part, he's pretty much in armor. So I'm like, that's not even correct.
For all we know, he's packing some Hostess cupcakes in that armor. Who knows? But yeah.
And it looks like Netro asked about Chicken Run 2. That's already public knowledge that they're working on that right now. But do I know anything about it? Absolutely not.
Also, that's technically not DreamWorks, because that's Aardman.
Yeah.
So people need to keep in mind, Aardman, for the most part, has different distributors, but they are not the distributor. Like Pirates, A Band of Misfits, or A Tale of Scientists, depending on where you lived. It's technically a Sony picture, but that's because it was distributed by Sony internationally. It's still an Aardman production. Chicken Run and Wallace and Gromit, Curse of the Were-Rabbit, and Flushed Away, those were all Aardman pictures. They were just distributed by DreamWorks, so they count under the DreamWorks umbrella, but they're technically co-productions. There's your lesson today. Yeah. Now go do your homework and pay your taxes.
Well, okay, Netro didn't know there was a Chicken Run 2. Okay, well now you know now. I mean, it's public knowledge that they were even recasting they recast the leads too. I do know that, and that's also public knowledge. And that got a lot of flack because the voice of Ginger sounds exactly the same she did 20-something years ago. And,
yeah, we're not going to judge them recasting Mel Gibson, though. We don't need Mel Gibson.
No. I'm talking about, I'm strictly talking about Ginger. But
I don't need to hear the chickens go on an anti-Semitic rant. Thank you very much.
I will not, and I'm like, will there be a Boss Baby? We just had a second one, and there's a TV show. I can't. That's all I know. I really don't. I can't. I don't know anything else.
All right, let's stop interrogating Lauren. Lauren, what else has been going on in your life? How's Phelps? How's you?
Did
Phelps is
somebody
fine.
say Phelps?
And it's funny because like that's like he looks just about the same as that. His ears had to get cut a little bit shorter recently, so he has more
So
of
he
a
looks
Dutch
like a
boy
sad-
look to him, but
He looks like a sad Dutch orphan now.
with a light blue bandana instead of a dark blue
Okay.
there.
Lauren, could you hold still for a second? Bend your head forward a slight bit. Look upwards. Okay. So, audience.
I know what to do. I'm
Audience. Corporate asks to tell the difference between those two images. They're the same image.
Oh, it's really the same. You are such a textbook case of pet looks like owner. It's scary.
That was not even done on purpose. We just
I
like
know it wasn't. Especially since he wasn't the first Cavi.
Where's Rocket?
The ferrets does not count either. It's dogs. It's usually dogs. I mean, I don't know if your parents' dog looked like either of your parents, but...
Let's not get there.
But yes.
Phelps is a boy. I would like to answer that question. Phelps is a boy.
Okay, yes. He's named after Michael Phelps, guys.
So it's a last name. So it could go both ways.
He's soon going to be as old as how many medals Michael Phelps had when he was born. He's going to be 14. Yep. He's a very healthy-looking 14-year-old chunky boy.
Yeah, come August, which is tomorrow. Like, it'll be sometime in August that he... Yeah, when did Michael Phelps have his... When did he win gold at the Beijing Olympics in 2008? He was born that day. So...
Wow. Dropped on his head, just like
he was the
every
first,
proper creature.
Born of his litter. And he was the only one that popped out that color. in a sea of tricolored puppies, he was the only Blenheim, and we kept him. So
I kept the firstborn of one of Josie's first litter when we had them. That one was dropped on its head, like literally. We'll move on after this, but like Josie decided to nest in my parents' closet, which is fine. A lot of dogs tend to nest in closets and spaces for their puppies. But she specifically decided to sit on top of the box where we kept the Christmas tree. So, elevated, not good for puppies. So we're trying to slowly move her off of the thing, and she gives birth as she's walking down the box, and then there's Ringo. She turned out okay.
Oh, look, a potato.
Oh, yeah, a little black and white potato. But yeah. So, I mean, there was one thing that happened, Lauren, that we could share. Voulez-vous avec un...
Yes. That's why I wanted saying the thing in French so that nobody catches on what it means. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that we saved that for us to be able to talk about together. But yeah,
I mean, I really
Chrissy and I saw Moulin Rouge on Wednesday night.
Yeah, look at that. It was such a great show. We went to the Pantages, which, if people don't know, is essentially the Broadway theater of Los Angeles. Like most of
in the heart of Hollywood.
Yeah, most of like the national tours go there. Like that's one of their first stops. So yeah, there was Moulin Rouge, and it was really great. The show was great. The audience was fucking trash, though. I have many complaints about that.
That's audience. Like I would say there was a few out of. I'm like I would not judge the majority on the actions of the minority that were.
I will.
But
I will.
Was fine. In fact,
no, this is
let us explain.
This is the cast of sweeping generalizations.
It's true. It's basically my entire thing.
Allow me to explain. Let me break it down simply. Act 1. If you're familiar with the soundtrack of Moulin Rouge, whether or not you are, there is a bunch of added songs to. Yes, I have my bag, my tote. I haven't bought a tote in ages, and I'm so glad I have this one. But yeah, so to break it down simply, Moulin Rouge, the Broadway musical, has a million more songs added to an already hefty soundtrack of being a jukebox musical. And one of the numbers that was based off of a newer song, which is they have a number based off of Katy Perry's Firework. But it's not done as a lively thing. It's a more sincere, somber number.
It's
and
sad.
it's slow.
Like
and
they
it's sad.
recontextualize a lot of songs. That's the main
Yeah.
point here. It's a lot of mashups.
This one lady tried to take pictures, flash pictures, during the firework number. I'm like, nothing's happening. It's Satine being like, she's like reflecting on how much weight is on her shoulders, to like how much she has to carry the Moulin Rouge, and how much she has to do and what she has to sacrifice to save it. And it's like, and then you got this lady who was like taking flash photos, and it was repeatedly flashing. It wasn't one, it was several times. Thankfully, she got thrown out. So, so there was some justice that night.
Just to be clear, it wasn't like most of the numbers in this show, which have like bright lights everywhere. It was literally a backdrop
number
and a single spotlight on the character. The worst time for you to do flash photography, especially after the ushers. What's the point? What's the point? I would love to hear this.
The woman herself was an artist. It was the song was part about how all the pressure is on her, on the lady on stage, like how all the pressure is on her. And this lady in the audience, artist herself, she probably didn't even take pictures. She was just using a Flash app or something to create an immersive experience. How this pressure goes beyond just the stage play and affects the the entire woman. Like it goes beyond just the stage play. Art!
So, bypassing the stupidity that was just the show was great. It was like so beautiful. Like all the sets and lighting and everything. I mean, it's the Moulin Rouge. If you don't expect camp with bright lights and big songs and all that, I don't know what show you were expecting to go to. This isn't like I don't know. This isn't. On top of that,
it's a jukebox musical. It was a jukebox musical. So if you're gonna be surprised by any song choices, get used to it, because the show is full of it.
I will say, oh, go ahead.
No, you go.
No, I was gonna say the fucking peanut gallery that was behind us. That was so look, I don't care your opinions on jukebox musicals. If you paid money for orchestra seats in a theater in the middle of Hollywood, which cost a good amount of money, don't fucking laugh and make jokes during the entire play as if it was Mystery Science Theater 3000. There was a scene where the main character is like, everything is pitch black, single spotlight, not even a backdrop.
Single artist in the audience takes flash pictures.
No, this is worse.
No, it's not that moment. This was a different moment.
Oh.
Yeah, and he starts singing like, I remember when I lost my mind. And it's like really sad. And this one person just starts cackling, loud cackling. And it's like, look, some people are like, maybe it's a knee-jerk reaction because it's weird to hear Gnarls Barkley's Crazy be sung sadly. I don't care. You're an adult. Mm-hmm. Shut up.
Yep. And on top of that, it wasn't just one person. It was a bunch of people. It was a group of people that were talking and laughing every time a new song came up in a medley, even the sad ones. At a point where, if you know the story in the Moulin Rouge, it's really not much of a spoiler if you've seen the movie. It follows the beats of the movie. Is that, Christian's had his heart broken, and by Satine. Satine's like, I don't love you. You don't matter to me. Blah blah blah. This is there's a medley or a combination fusion song of Crazy and Rolling in the Deep by Adele. So it was so it's this powerful like moment where he's kind of like he's going and charging up into like revenge mode, right? He's going in, he's in a depressive episode, he's going out and he's buying bullets and a gun, and as if to like follow through on like his depressive state.
Yeah.
And
These
people were
people
laughing, and people were laughing at the freaking every time they were singing a new part of the songs. I'm like,
there was a point where you could see like half of the orchestra section, heads reeled back, staring at these people. And I just, like, look, I know COVID has affected some of our social cues, but come the fuck on. Like, you're already in there and having to wear a mask the entire time watching a 3-hour musical paying a shit ton of money. Can you, like, not? Like, I don't know.
And I sat there going, I'm like, I can bet you one person bought everybody's tickets for that group, because everybody that was being disrespectful, they were not wasting their own money doing it, because that
someone got
it was
a group
so
on.
And you had literally so many heads turning and telling and like shushing them behind them, because it was just, it got that bad. And I'm like, I was amazed that they didn't get kicked out, but because it kept happening. But I guess it's because it wasn't a flash.
It didn't ruin the show. It didn't ruin the show, though. The show was still fantastic. I really want to go see the Broadway production, because apparently the theater for the Broadway production is small, so they have to like
it's small and narrow, but it's tall.
Yeah, so they have to vertically align their choreography, which that just sounds like a hoot. So yeah, I figured out my media was saying hoot.
It's going to be the Owl House?
No, the new Helluva Boss episode.
Oh yeah. That came out.
There we go. Hooray!
Yesterday. Good luck dodging
yesterday.
Spoilers. Or are you just going full out spoiler mode?
I'll do what I can.
Season 2, episode 1, baby.
But either way, the show is great. Do you have anything else from your week, Lauren? Because I have one thing for me, and then I don't have anything.
No, you go ahead. Take it away.
Okay. I got to pet a dog this week, and it was Phelps. Wait!
I need to bring that Phelps. I wasn't prepared for that.
Because he was a good boy. I mean, he was not a good boy the morning of or something, because he went to the bathroom. He has a whole damn yard, and he decided to walk over the spot he just went to the bathroom. So I had to help Lauren by holding him down while she cleans his little paws. Right after he got a bath.
Yeah, he is an old man child. That's what he is. He's like a fusion.
Baby. He's like a toddler. Dogs
he has
are
zero spatial awareness.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the dog that will willingly slip and slide on the hardwood floor instead of just going.
Well, he doesn't willingly do it. He doesn't willingly slip and slide. Actually,
he's not willingly slipping and sliding.
We actually found paw pads that are like adhesive little paw pads that you could put on their little paw pads, so that he can walk across the floor now, and he actually doesn't slip.
Wait, I
can't believe it took this long to find it.
Positive development. What picture, Max?
Of Phelps with those little slippers. I could swear I saw a picture of this, didn't I?
No, no. There's no pictures of them.
Okay.
And then they're on the bottom of his feet, so you would never see them. Like he looks as he does in that photo.
Invisible.
Basically, the paw pads are underneath. You wouldn't see.
Well, hooray for him! But no, besides petting a dog, I guess since the last AWKWARDcast, I am now officially an editor for Saberspark. So,
yay!
I edit for his gaming channel now. The first video I edited came out recently, and I'm very happy with it. A couple things got hiccups because I had to retime audio the day of upload. So some things were a little out of sync because, like, visual wise, because I had to retime audio and I had a time crunch. So it was like, well, fuck. But it was only like
Hey everyone.
Also, a nipple was after motion tracking Saber's head onto so many pairs of boobs. Yes, that was the fun, doing all the censoring with his face. A lot of motion tracking and roto brushing. But there was one nipple that slipped out, and it was fucking because his virtual model was in front of the screen most of the time that I didn't see it. Also, how the fuck did people see his see like a nipple out of like 240p footage from the PlayStation 2 is beyond me. But yeah, so yeah, this was the video I edited. Fun fact.
Give me those saber faces.
It's still in the beginning. It's a lot in the beginning.
The saber faces.
There was
yeah, there they come. There's a lot of saber faces coming in everywhere.
So yeah, I had to motion track. Those pants were roto brushed. I'm very proud of all of this, as you can see. Also, I had to be very generous with like the censoring, because YouTube will demonetize even like people in bikinis, which is, or just cleavage in general, which is insane to me. But like, the video still got demonetized. All my efforts were
living in 1984.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you want the uncensored version, go to his Patreon. His Patreon helps pay me. But yeah. So I started editing for him, and I have another project lined up that's coming out on Friday. And it's I'm very happy to work with the Saber Boy. He's a good boy.
He is a good boy.
Yes, he is. Oh,
hey everyone,
I guess the other thing I could say, because I saw Wolfheads in the chat, I should probably acknowledge.
Oh, yeah.
Let me go grab it.
Oh dear. Saberspark 64, linking the video that Keyframe did in the description.
With an AWKWARDCast clip. So, Wolfhead made a tweet asking what would it take for me to play FNAF VR, and I said, buy me a VR headset. He said, no, say no more. And I forgot about it because it was 3 months ago. Now, the results of 3 months later, I now have an Oculus 2 or MetaQuest 2, whatever you want to call it. So
nice.
one of the newest VR headset models. There we go. I didn't ask for this, like, genuinely. And now I have it. I don't know how to feel. This is why people shouldn't have my address. This is the moral of this story. Thank you.
So FNAF VR when?
Soon. Soon. A lot of people suggested horror games. I already have a panic disorder. We're just gonna see how bad my anxiety gets. But yeah, so I got all this. So this is gonna be fun. I can't wait to play Beat Saber until I'm a sweaty mess on the ground, though, because Beat Saber is my favorite VR game that I play.
Everybody say thank you, Wolfhead.
Yep.
Thank you,
there it
Wolfhead.
is. There it is. When Keyframe said to sing.
What?
Say no more. Buy me a headset.
Yeah, so I just have this now. This is awesome. Good thing I have this office now, so now I have the room to actually do VR. So, good timing. I can't wait to play VR and not have spatial awareness and, like, crash directly into the Egon standee.
Oh my. Accidentally crashing into Egan. I see what you did there. It's clever, you.
Shut up. Be quiet. Like, learn to not talk.
That would be a complicated development when hosting a podcast.
Oh, no, it won't. I got Lauren. We could talk for hours. You could just sit there and be the sex appeal. So, you know, we'll be all good.
I could just... Wait, you do that? I turn on a video game? Wait, where's it even? 3, 2...
No, we're not repeating playing of... Oh, okay. We're not repeating... What? You're still the sex appeal. It's a drawing from me, which is automatically good looking. Some would say an improvement to the real thing.
I see, uh-oh, how unfortunate. Uh-oh,
No.
how unfortunate.
Why is Egan bound and gagged?
He's not bound and gagged. I just hung my bathrobe from him. God fucking... Let's see.
So
Accidentally. But yes, anyways, I have to step away for a minute. So Max, talk about your
yes,
week.
I gladly will. So for one thing, something that I apparently started doing, just a little bit of shameless self. Oh wait, I can do that. Haha! There she is. Fun fact: I cannot do this for all because I don't have a Lauren avatar ready to go. But
I guess normally
wait,
you just have to have the you'd have to have
yeah,
the one from like one of our
get.
Three idiots streams.
But
Just
you
use
but if
that.
yeah, but I haven't prepared it. Let's see what happens if I remove your camera. You are now Glitchy Bits. Congratulations.
I am now Tia.
You can tell who was our last guest without a webcam. Anyway, so yeah, a thing I started apparently doing might become a regular thing is that on Sunday mornings my time, so this means very late for you Americans over there, I'm sorry, I just start Let's Play streaming. So because I'm awake, I usually game a little bit around that time. Denim is usually not yet awake, so I just sit here and quietly game and stream it. So yeah, I so far I did Crown Trick and Hollow Knight. But yeah, that just on the side. Also, I started playing Crown Trick and Hollow Knight. I got busy gaming wise. One other thing that happened that it will be my media, wink wink notch notch, and as a general shout out, I didn't make it my media, but I still need to torture Enigma. I finished another audiobook this week. The third novella in the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson, and so far there are 3 books and 3 novellas that take place around the third book, and it's still great. It's still, I mean, technically the novellas are written by somebody else in cooperation with Anderson, but they still add to the same story, and it's still a great story, and I'm currently re-listening to the entire storyline from the beginning just to see, like, how did we get here, because shit is just getting great. And yeah, great series. I definitely talked about it before on Awkward, but at this point, since it's the sixth entry in an ongoing series, I cannot talk about it without just spoiler, or it is not really helpful to anybody who doesn't know what happened up to that point. So, same reason why my media is not Stranger Things 4, because if you haven't watched Stranger Things until now, it will be like, oh, there is this 4th installment, whoopsie-doo, this is what's different. Or what my thoughts are.
Which it's great for all the people that have been following
Yeah.
it, but for those who are, I'm like, again, there's so many, again, when it comes to like a series, you can't just jump into the middle of it and be like, oh, I can catch up.
Yeah.
No, you can't do that with Stranger Things. You have to start from the beginning in order to really get the gravity of everything coming together, especially in 4.
Yeah, 4 is doing so many callbacks, and especially at the very end, they keep wrapping in even more previous season highlights. So, without saying anything more, because it's not my media. Another great thing that happened this week, and I like talking about it because it was such a touching moment. I was like, ah. So I moved to Berlin in January 2014. So for 6.5 years by now. 8.5 years. Math is difficult. For 8.5 years now, I have been living here. Before I moved here, I had a regular circle of friends with whom I sometimes even on a weekly basis met just for playing board games, and we were all on the same wavelength. We liked the same games, and it was always a blast. And ever since I moved to Berlin, I mean, I was kind of hoping to get this kind of thing back. And this Friday I met with a coworker and his better half together with Denim. And fun fact is, he lives like 5 minutes from here on foot. And at some day we kind of got the topic of board games during work, and I was like, "Yo, dude, do you board game, bro? Literally in my wording. And he was like, yo, man, I hard board game do. Okay, this is falling apart hard. Just to take to take it as paraphrasing. But yeah, so eventually we actually did meet up on Friday. And we just board gamed, and it was like get together, played some, had some drinks with it, had some talk in between, and we just played a game which is a little bit more on the strategic end. So what's my thing, and we eventually fell out of their flat at like 2 a.m. and it was like, this felt good. I miss that. So yeah, that just as a thing. Oh, I see a good boy. I see a good boy. Here's the thing about Himbo. Even he is this little Zoolander who is dumb as hell, but beautiful. In every picture and everything, he is just beautiful, but dumb as a space cadet. Even when he poops, he is the most gracious, adorable being. He stands there, all his apart, and he is like, oh. He like lifts his head and is like striking a pose, and it's like amazing. In the most.
I think there's more to life than just being really, really, really ridiculously good looking.
I know, right? But yeah, even in the most come here, buddy. I'm talking about you. Come here. Nope.
Let's see the good boy.
Nope. He's running off.
Oh,
He's just looking at me.
no.
It's like looking at me beautifully, and then it's like fuck you and running off. They are not trainable, not very trainable animals. If you want to have a trainable animal, get a dog or even a cat in comparison, I guess. Aha! My lovely assistant hands me the ferret. Look at him.
Yay!
Look at this beautiful, beautiful face. Even when pooping, he is adorable.
Look at that.
He's just hanging there and it's like, what's up? You need to go down now. Yeah. He's like, oh, okay, I humored you. Now let me go. Oh, he's probably going to step on my... No, he found sweets. On the desk. No, bad idea. No ferret food. Help. No, he's throwing glasses around. What have I done? I have done horrible mistakes. Anyways.
Quickly descended into madness.
Yep. Anything else that happened to me this week? Oh, this is my water. What are you doing with my water? So, as I was saying, this week, am I right? Buddy, I dare to say this was my highlight, except for what would be my media. And I'm not sure if I should start with my media or if you want to start with your media. Boy, you're getting heavy. He's holding with all his weight on my glass.
He's leaning it all on the little glass.
Buddy, enough of that. Okay, have another drink, but then you go off the table. I have a show to run. Jesus. Himbocast when? Yeah, that's a funny idea. I believe I mentioned this before. I had the great idea of, when I get ferrets, I will have I put up, buddy, you go back down. Whoop. That I would put up an additional camera, like as a ferret cam, and I would have it in this window over there where currently our avatars are, on the other end of the box. And, well, this idea fell apart the moment we decided to have free roaming ferrets instead of cage ferrets, because there's no chance to have a camera in place for them. Anyways.
Yeah, like a live stream ferret cam is kind of moot.
But yeah, I believe those were the highlights of my week. No, I believe we were also at an anime convention last weekend. It was fun. I went as how do you do, fellow kids meme, since the outfit is fine, except for the skateboard, the outfit is by now assembled. But yeah, we made it back from there with surprisingly little amounts of money invested. Like normally, especially Denim is always at high risk. Like when going to an anime convention in the vendor hall, to go out a lot poorer than she entered, but we managed. We managed.
You're not even
That's good.
mentioning.
That's good.
Huh?
You're not mentioning what location it was in and how cool that was.
Oh yeah, okay, that's a fair point. It was in Movie Park Babelsberg,
Film park.
Film Park Babelsberg, which is actually a little bit of a theme park around movies. But they had it rented out for this occasion, so it was still all where anime things happening, but there were still also the setup of with actual like setting parts of movies and whatnot, and a stunt show arena in which they had a stage for a concert and everything, and of course a lot of cosplays running around. So it was cool and fun. So that's a good thing. But yeah, I believe now I have really exhausted my week. Lauren, do you want to talk about your media?
Yeah, why don't we?
Wrong one.
Something,
Wrong
something,
one.
something,
Right
some-
one. Okay.
something, something, DreamWorks shell, something, something,
Exactly.
yada yada. But this is if you guys haven't checked it out yet, there is a brand new Kung Fu Panda show, courtesy of DreamWorks TV, called Kung Fu Panda: The Dragon Knight. I have friends that worked on it even before I ended up at DreamWorks, and so and they were really excited for this to be released. And what I have seen, I haven't finished the full series yet. So far, I'm really loving it. This is also having a return of Jack Black as Poe. So it's really cool to have him as part of a TV series and reprising the role he originated. And yeah, and actually, you do have James Hong also back as Mr. Ping.
Oh.
But the premise of this series is that basically Poe is now a dragon master, but he has lost the title due to a little bit of a snafu because of the arrival of these two weasel thieves from England. And this is his first time interacting with characters from another land. And with these thieves,
there
they
they
are
are.
being trailed by and with these thieves, Klaus and Veruca, they are being trailed by this knight, who is also called the Wandering Blade. And she is a knight of England who is being sent by the Queen to basically stop these thieves from stealing these 4 items that will, lead them to take over the world, basically. So Poe and the Wandering Blade have to team up in order to stop these thieves. And that means leaving the regions of China or certain regions of China in order to be able to stop them. So it's a lot of big scale fun, big scale action, and a lot of great character moments. And yeah,
So-
and we got a lot of great fun in it.
So they went the way of the video game, like turning the sequel into open world.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but yeah, it's really cool because also there's just like a lot of like the rendering on the characters looks really good too. Like this is if you maybe were around the time watching like Legends of Awesomeness and stuff like that, which was a show that was originally for Nickelodeon. You may have remembered like they had more TV quality stuff, so obviously budget restrictions, all that stuff, but they still stuck to having really great storylines, really great characters, and lots of great action in it, making use of what they had. With Kung Fu Panda, you have a bit more of the budget and the technology now is at a point where you can have really nicely finely rendered characters, a lot of fun action, and the effects look really nice. And yeah, so please check it out. A lot of super talented people who love the series pulled it together, so please give it a check out.
Sorry, that was longer than usual, but who do you think would like it and who do you think wouldn't?
Who would like it? Anybody who has liked anything cool ever, please watch, if you haven't watched any Kung Fu Panda stuff lately or ever, please do.
That's probably a legit question, like how many or which of the Kung Fu Panda movies are pre-required to follow this show? I assume the first one is unavoidable.
First one for sure, but I mean, the way the show is, it's more taking place after events of the third one, I want to say. But even so, to watch the third one, you'd have to watch the first 2 to really get the gravity of what Poe goes through and the changes he goes through. Just watch the trilogy. There is you can and dabble in some Legends of Awesomeness if you want to get an idea of some of like the TV style of the narratives that they have. But for this one in particular, I would say, narrative wise, in terms of a canon chronological order kind of thing, watch the original trilogy. The second and third movies are on Netflix too, so you can at least watch those. And first one, I have no idea where you can watch the first one, to be honest with you. It seems like that one's like I cannot find where you can just watch it without it being like a rentable, uh, buyable option. But
well, if you get the order, no, not the if you get NordVPN/awkward, no, actually not. We don't have something.
I'm sure in some regions it's available.
I just checked German Netflix. So if you have a VPN and Netflix and haven't seen the Kung Fu Panda movies, what is wrong with you? You can find the first one on German Netflix as well as the second one, and not the third one apparently. Netflix.
Like the third one you get US, second and third one you get on US Netflix, but that's what I'm saying. You may have to just flip the VPN on.
There it is. Sorry, it has a different thing. Oh, all three on a German. Okay, anyway, sorry. Back to you.
Yeah. So anyway, please go check it out. If you have not watched the Kung Fu Panda series, you really should. Especially when it comes to the first one, that was like the first time that DreamWorks at the time they were starting to launch into major action-oriented, big-scale kind of stories. Like you may have thought of like, oh, there's some fight choreography in previous features, but it was not to the extent that Kung Fu Panda did it. And I mean, they treated it like a true martial arts film and had stunt coordinators and martial arts trainers and all that stuff to like make sure that they were true to what they were making. And that was the intent of the series, really, was you see a name like Kung Fu Panda, you think this is going to be silly. And you think it's going to be just ridiculous. But they treat it like a true martial arts series, and with very much a serious tone at times, even with the comedy there. But and a lot of great character growth, great character dynamics, and lore, lots of it, and great kung fu action. So please watch the original trilogy. Be sure to watch Dragon Knight, because again, it's a continuation of all of that, especially on Poe's journey, because he is your primary focus. That you get to see how much he changes and has grown and continues to learn. So,
well then. Excellent.
Also, Shea Frillis just did a video. Shea Frillis just did a video on the first Kung Fu Panda, or at the very least, yes, I think on the first Kung Fu Panda. I think he aims to do 2 more, 1 for each movie, because he says it's too much. He loves the series so much, there's too much for him to say in one video. So,
is that everything, Lauren?
That's everything. Hey, look, am I not allowed to talk about the...
You're allowed. You're wearing the DreamWorks hat. You're allowed.
Now I'm done. It's out of my system. Now go.
So,
did you already do your media?
No, I did not.
Well, go right ahead.
Then
I need a little bit more time to think.
No problem. Then, my media, as I vaguely hinted at during my week segment, was a little bit of an unusual one. I'm not sure if it's the first. I don't think it's the first that I talk about. A board game!
Yeah, you've talked about board games on here before.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. So,
actually, you really went to a board gaming convention a couple of years ago, and you talked about, I think your media was a board game for that awkward.
Could be. But yeah, so, fun fact, this is kind of related to a board game convention that I did not go to. There apparently was a board game convention 2 weekends ago. But and we considered to maybe go there kind of spontaneously, but we still went, did some shopping before in the city center, and when we finally arrived there, it was like, only 2 hours to go. Let's see, maybe we get a smaller, reduced entry fee if we only come now. But then we went to the location and there was a big fat banner, only online tickets. I'm like, yeah, $18 per person for 2 hours remaining of a day-long event. Maybe we skip it. But instead we just went to a random board game store on our way home, and we looked at a bunch of stuff, and while I was checking for some things that I was like wondering if they have it, they didn't, or the niche not in the right language. However, Denim, our local Lovecraft fangirl, saw this in a cupboard, and it's actually the German version, so it also got the argument of practicing her German by playing a German board game. And so we got this. This is one of those cooperative trying to beat the game games for 1 to 6 players. So you can, if you are that desperate, try to defeat it by yourself. It has a very clever game mechanic to scale with the number of players. So basically, this is a little thing at the end of each round where every player triggers 2 random events, and if there are more players, more random events happen. And since it's a Lovecraftian thing, those are usually bad. But if you're completely alone, I have the feeling you're just running from A to B and have no chance. Because the difficult part is finding the balance of trying to avoid something horrible to happen. Lovecraftian, as I mentioned. And you are investigators. You're fighting the forces of evil, but at the same time investigating in order to stop the bigger thing. Because you can find the earthly incarnations like cultists and smaller demons and whatnot. But when Cthulhu or one of his bros appears, it's endgame. There's nothing you can do. I mean, it's a cosmic horror. It's beyond anything you can do. This kind of game, I generally like those cooperative against the board games. However, this is a big boy. So, you see a little bit of the material flying around. What you do is you have your city, where monsters spawn and doom keeps popping up everywhere. And if the doom gets too much, a rift opens and stuff is more and more messed up, and more and more doom gets put onto the big bad who is being summoned, I guess. I have only played one scenario, but it's usually like cultist, like going by Cthulhu mythos in general. It's usually some mad cultists are like, hey, let's bring in the end of the world because fun. And a few warnings about this game. So it's a bigger one. So we usually do board game night on Fridays. 2 weeks ago on Friday, we were setting it up for 1.5 hours. And then we were like, let's maybe not start. The box says it's 2 to 3 hours playtime.
1.5 hours just to set the damn thing
I
up?
mean, admittedly, it was also going through the rules together, understanding how the game works. So that was more like, okay, this is that thing. Okay. So it was first time playing. So
Okay.
yes.
So what would you estimate the setup time for someone who knows how to play the game?
I would probably say like you can have set it up in 10 to 15 minutes. Like no, when you get all the cards out.
How thoroughly did you guys look through this?
We went through the entire manual basically.
Oh, I would not have the patience. I would learn as I go.
No chance with this game.
Oh.
Yep. So yeah. So we were like, you know what? Saturday afternoon is a fantastic time for board gaming. So we board gamed it last Saturday afternoon. Until it got really late and we were like, hey, we have been at it for an hour or two. Let's make a cut here. Let's continue. Nah, our dojo is closed this week due to vacations. we have Monday evening free. So we continued on Monday evening.
And you're still not done.
Until it got late, and I needed to work the next day. So we continued yesterday, as in last Saturday. And we continued playing a bit. We eventually finished the game by horrifically losing, and the world is now ended and everybody died, but not before going completely mad and us for some reason surviving just a little bit longer to see how much we fucked up.
That's not a board game at that point. That's a D&D campaign.
Basically. So this
like,
is...
oh my god, that is a terror. I'm not, look, I'm saying this in the nicest way possible. You just gave the worst sales pitch for this game.
No, I gave a fair warning. I'm pretty sure that some people out there are like, ooh, I just had a board game gasm, and are like, I want to play this shit. But anybody who doesn't feel like that, who isn't like, oh yeah, hell yeah, those people would not be happy with the game. So yeah, maybe it was a horrible sales pitch, but I'm not trying to sell this game. I'm trying to give a understanding of what to expect. But it was quite the hell of an adventure. And technically, we would love to play another campaign with more people, like not just the two of us. But yeah, it would require a bit of commitment now, wouldn't it? Like probably meeting for a Saturday, like we know it already, so we can set it up and explain it. And probably meeting with friends on a Saturday early afternoon and being mentally prepared to play into the evening with ordering pizza in between and everything. But if I can find the friends who are up for this, I'm all for it. So next three idiots, Arkham Horror, huh?
See, here's the thing. I'm morbidly curious to try it when I visit, just to see how far do we get by the time I have to leave. Just like, I want to know how little of a dent can be made.
I mean, I put in vacation for the entire week, so we have Monday or Tuesday.
That's the thing. It's kind of like, okay, let's see what we can do.
Yo, Denim, you up for it?
Why not?
Oh, I see a thumbs up. Okay.
Okay. Wait, is the game in German?
Yes.
Someone's gonna have to translate it for
me.
Fair,
absolutely fair.
Oh no, that's gonna make everything even harder. Oh no. Yay! I'm making a good investment of my time.
But yeah, that was my media, and I guess as you pointed out, I already gave all the red flags for people who might be red flagged by it. But if you are into long games, with the feeling of Lovecraftian despair becoming real for you as a player, because shit keeps escalating, and Jesus, this was so crushing. If
you want a D&D campaign without it being a D&D campaign, play this game.
Yeah, but usually in D&D campaign you have a higher chance of survival, I guess. Even with a harsh DM.
I'm saying that this game just sounds like a D&D campaign in level of time investment.
Oh, a short one, yes. I would agree.
Yeah, like a one-shot kind of thing. But even some one-shots take weeks to get through.
True.
So, but anyways, enough with your boring board games. Let's talk about something trendy. Like Helluva Boss.
Yay. The Owl Boy.
Yes, this was a Stolas-focused opener.
But where is season 8 of episode... No, season 1 of episode 8 of season 1?
They are trying... There's a legal
yeah, I know. I am aware. After seeing this one, my assumption it must probably be following what the other characters do during episode 7. So that there's technically no story overlap.
Oh, probably. So, but yeah. So I new Helluva Boss came out after this long wait, and it is worth the wait in my opinion. It was very good, and I'm trying to be as little spoilery as possible. But as you can see from the thumbnail, this is a majority of the episode is in flashback, specifically to when Stolas is a little baby boy. And the kid actors that they have for this episode, because there's multiple kid versions of characters, are so good. Like they got some.
Yeah.
There's a scene between two characters where they're playing with little balloon animals and being, I lost my legs in the war, and that is. I've rewatched that scene so many times. It is the funniest shit that genuinely sounds like a conversation kids would have.
Exactly.
And I found out that one of those actors is the voice of Kid Chip from the Chippendale movie. That kid's getting around. But yes, and also we meet Stolas's dad, as you can also see in the thumbnail, who is played by Jafar from Aladdin, which is awesome.
Jonathan Freeman, baby.
You ain't got to hear Jafar say fuck multiple times.
He also plays Blitz's dad. So
yeah, which was the most shocking thing. I had to re-listen to it so many times to be like, yeah, I can kind of hear like when Jafar is being like the old decrepit man.
So he's talking to himself?
Yeah, he's talking to himself in multiple scenes. But he just does a fantastic job as he's continuing the trend of just getting Broadway elite into their fucking show. There's a song in this episode, so musical fans beware, but why are you watching Helluva Boss? Great song. And it confirmed my feelings about one of the characters, because so many people tried to infantilize one of the characters, being like, oh, they're actually a sad wooby ooh. No, they're a bitch.
And they were from the get-go. They were from like Inception. They were. So I'm like,
from conception, they were a bitch. And so my feelings were right. Fuck you, I was right. Fuck you, I was right. The episode looks fantastic, but that's par for the course with Helluva Boss. It was just a really solid opener to the season, and it had a good mix of the serious and funny, which I will say is one of my critiques of Helluva Boss. Some episodes don't balance that well. Some of them have real Torchwood moments where it's like everything is silly until the last 2 minutes. Like, but the past couple episodes have been better with it. I mean, I have my criticisms about some things in the part 1 of the season finale, mainly Moxie and Millie. I'm sorry, I don't believe that they wouldn't have stood up for Blitz when Blitz stood up for them. That was kind of just shitty. But yeah, it was just really fucking good. If I can have the spoiler alarm on so I could talk about some specific things. I did not expect for them to make Blitz and Stola's childhood friends.
But I was surprised when it started to build up like that. I was like, oh, heavy retcon. But they worked it in so smoothly that it all ended up in exactly the first scenes we knew about the two.
Yeah, and it's like, they pointed out that they haven't seen each other in decades.
Yeah.
So
25 years.
25 years. Which also points out what their ages are. Stolas and Blitz are canonically like 36 years old. So, good to know now, because everyone was like, no, there were some people saying that Blitz was in his 20s or something. It's like, no, I don't believe that for a goddamn second.
He carries the energy of a man in his 30s. He just
But I mean, then again, they are fucking imps and a demon lord.
I know.
What does age mean?
Look, I'm just saying, there's just indicators, and like, it also helps with the timeline of how old other characters are, mainly like Luna and stuff, because if you can determine how old Blitz was when he got Luna, or compared to how old Luna is, because Luna's like 20-something by now, and she was adopted when she was 18, so or about to turn 18. Yeah. Point being, there was lore, continuity. But I also really like that it seems like Stolas... This explains a lot of why Stolas treats Blitz the way that he does. Because when you actually look at it, Blitz was the one that kind of imbued the impression that Blitz likes the way that Stolas treats him. Because because Stolas was originally joking of like, oh, ravish me and stuff, because he literally says, I was just kidding. And, you know,
Right.
Blitz does the seduction thing. And then Stolas is literally like, oh, you like to take charge and all this stuff, don't you? And Blitz is just like, yeah, sure.
Mhm.
So why Stolas acts so, like, flirty and stuff around him is because Blitz kind of gave off the wrong vibe. And that explains so much of this very repressed little man. Also, Stolas was just fucking gay from the start.
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
he knew what he liked very young.
It's the moment he sees like you're betrothed. It's like, isn't she look great? And it's like that the crying.
Yeah,
it was just
also the little blush and stuff. Like, if he could be any more rainbow, he'd be a pride flag. Like, he didn't like girls at any point in his little life. But yeah, I just think that this actually, because here was the thing, Stolas was the character that took me the longest to like out of the cast, because I mean, the first episode did not give a great impression of him spouting explicitives. And then he had the father thing with Octavia, which made me warm up to him a little bit more. But I still didn't like how he treated Blitz. And it's grown better and better over time. Like, it's more than just a transactional fucking, as Blitz would say. It also really humanizes Blitz because when Stolas is like, the person who's making me feel this way is my first ever friend. And you can see Blitz, like, has, like... Because at that point, I assume, like, he's done with... Like, he's probably burnt the bridge with Fizzaroli and Verosica at that point.
Mhm.
So yeah, that was... It's the one thing Blitz really wants is some acknowledgement. Because, I mean, how long did it take for Moxie to even be, like, friendly to Blitz at that point? I think it took the whole Human Hunters episode, not the CIA episode, for that to happen. Like, and Millie was friendly with him, but every time that he tried to project family or friendship onto anyone, they're usually like, eh, or in Luna's case, snarling at him. So,
Yeah.
I like the development that Helluva Boss is going, that Blitz isn't completely ignorant to how people feel about him.
But so it also means that Fizzaroli was his brother.
No. Fizzaroli's not his brother.
So
it's his best friend.
Yeah, but there is... or is this not canon anymore? Because there are those cover art of the two brothers and
No, they were sisters. It was sisters.
There were two sisters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You're talking about the posters in the background.
Yeah.
Those are Blitz's sisters.
Oh.
And by all accounts, it seems like one sister got retconned out, because in early art you see that he has two, like Barbed Wire and another one. And in family portraits that you see in on his phone in the last episode of season 1, and the family portrait you see in the background of the tent, there's only him and one sister, and then the mom and the dad.
Ah.
So yeah, Fizz is just another clown in that imp circle. Also, before I end this, I have a theory about Blitz's mom.
Are we still in spoilers?
No, if you've watched the last episode of season 1, you know what Blitz's mom looks like. So,
okay.
My theory about Blitz's mom, and I'm pretty sure Blitz has succubi in him, because his mom does not look like a normal imp. Like, and the main thing is the horns, because they do have like a genealogy thing with imps in Helluva Boss lore, is that male imps have like the wide white stripes and black ones, and female ones have thin white stripes. That's how you could tell Sally Mae, like Millie's sister, is trans. Hers have solid black horns, which are only seen by by succubi characters previously. Because Verosica has solid black horns, and so do the other imps. Also, succubi imps. Blech. Also, you can see that she is significantly taller than even the dad imp. And by imp standards, Blitz is actually one of the tallest imps that we've seen. And he has it. And also, if you look at him, he's one of the few that doesn't have like at least one of the few male imps that doesn't have prevalent hooves. Like he doesn't
Yeah.
have like the goat-like legs that other ones have, which I have to see again if his dad had them, but because it's not a sexual a gender trait because there are female ones that have cloven legs and then ones that don't because Millie doesn't have them. So, but male ones like Moxie do. So I don't know. But I mean, it would also explain like the hearts on the head, which could also explain why Fizz has one and he's in the lust ring and stuff. And it seems like fucking Blitz has knowledge on the lust ring. So I'm just saying, there's something fishy about that mama, and I could be completely wrong, but I'm just saying I feel like there's reasoning behind some of the non-standard character design things of her.
But now you
Besides-
have it out there publicly, and when it gets revealed, you can point to this clip and be like, I knew it! Suck on it!
Yeah, exactly. But who knows? I guess would also explain why Verosica and an imp would get together if he's already part succubus. So, or I guess for male incubus at that point. But who knows? Does Blitz need more reasons to be an outcast in this fucking world besides being an imp trying to run a business, failing relationships, and also being a mixed breed? Like, I don't think Blitz needs more reasons to be sad.
No, we gotta make him extra tragic.
I recommend continue watching Helluva. It still hits. It's still good, and buy the merch. They consistently have good Helluva Boss merch. As someone who has so many Luna shirts and so many Blitz pins, I think I have every enamel Blitz pin that they have made. I don't have a hyperfixation. What are you talking about?
Exactly. Talking about hyperfixations, you want to tell us something about this art of the week?
Oh, this is an old art. So this is from one of my favorite artists online called Star Pirate. They have done art for Game Grumps, Rubber Ross, and I think Crooked Glasses did art for the Has-Been Pilot. But Star Pirate does some fantastic art stuff, and I adored I forgot if they go by she or they now for a while, and they a couple years ago did like character redesign commissions. So you gave them your character and they would redesign it on stream. And so I gave them Abby, and they really liked her character design from the get-go, and they were like, when I look at her, I just see a salsa dancer, and it was just drawing it, and I adore this design. Like I'm pretty sure like the most modern interpretations of Abby actually have a lot of this kind of stuff in her design, but more animator friendly, especially like the sash and dress stuff. But I just adore it. I love everything about this. I want more art of my ghost girl. She's so cute. But yeah, so that's my self-indulgence.
Well then, with that.
God, can you imagine animating that kind of tail, Lauren? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No, like it's like I even go like imagining it if it was taken to 3D and the programming it would take to get the fabric
stimulation. Oh no. But like the top half is fine. Like the strap and like the dress kind of being like part of the skin, perfectly fine. Poggers, and you could do some looping animation stuff in Flash with the hair, but that dress, absolutely not. What am I, a Vivzy Puff character? No, What are you doing?
Zooming in.
Zooming in, because then you can see the detail a lot better.
Yeah, she did such a good job. I love it. I love the idea that the inside of the fabric is the green and everything. It's just mwah, chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. I think she did affect how I draw her eyes, though, because I have given her like really big eyelashes since and stuff. So yeah. I have some Abby and Theo stuff in the works. There's going to be something that comes out in 2022. I swear to God. Or I will cry. And I don't need any more reasons to cry. Anyways, Q&A time.
Q&A time. So, Twitter, I only have our traditional Would You Rather by the J-Rock. And after that, it's OU and Discord. But for the time being, for all three, Would You Rather? And I believe this was a good one, where I'm not sure what my answer would be right away. Would you rather get to go on a one week vacation anywhere in the world that you want, or get to go on a month-long vacation, but have to stay within 200 miles of your hometown? Then again, I believe I figured my answer out. But yeah, Abby, what about you? 1 week anywhere in the world? Or 1 month, but in a 200-mile radius of your 200-mile radius of your home, which, given where you live, is actually there's a lot of stuff happening.
Me and Lauren live in very positions.
Yeah, but I would rather take the week. First of all, I don't like being away for that long. Second of all, I'm like a week is about the extent I would probably go anyway. And plus, there's so many places I'd like to see that I have not seen yet. Anywhere in the world, freaking heck, I would freaking go to Japan. I would take the week and go to Japan. That's what I would do. So I mean,
that's a good choice. Las Vegas is 200 miles from me.
So you can spend an entire month in Las Vegas.
Okay, here's the
I don't know if I would spend an entire month.
Is this vacation all expenses paid? Like, I feel like this is a big what if in this
I have the feeling it must be all expenses paid, because otherwise, a week-long vacation trip is, if you travel further than 200 miles, usually try to have at least a week, because otherwise it's not worth the travel. So I assume it's all inclusive, but oh yeah, that makes it actually harder, like, an entire month all inclusive versus just a week. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, so you're going to pick the week, Lauren.
Yes.
I need to think a bit more. Max, you said you had your answer.
Yes, I actually thought about it, and I came to a very similar conclusion as Lauren, actually. Because after an entire month would probably be too long for me to just be vacationing. I mean, I remember that in good old college days, when I had a month, because break between semesters and already didn't have any tests to learn for, an entire month, I started getting productive. This was the most glorious time for my YouTube channel, when I was actually pumping out videos on a weekly basis and stuff. Because just sitting or just vacationing, I'm not for sightseeing. It's I rather also would go for the 1 week of focused vacation rather than an entire month, because eventually I would just start whatever the opposite of bouncing off the walls is.
Yeah, you get stir crazy, but you guys are losers. I'm gonna go for the month.
I mean, you are a workaholic, so it makes sense that.
Here's the thing. I have the separation of my more hobbyist-like activities to my job-like activities. Nothing is saying that when I'm on vacation I can't do like YouTube stuff or something, but it's like to the pace where it's not work. So that means I'm not working for other people. I'm doing everything for myself. So if I go to Vegas, do you know how many YouTube videos I could film in Vegas of just putzing around and having fun, especially if it's all expenses paid? Like, that just sounds fantastic. Like, I feel like that could be a lot of fun. I could spend a month in a nice place. I could go to Lake Tahoe, which is also within 200 miles, get a nice cabin for a month, and paint and do the podcast and just be and just chill. Like, but that's the thing. And you pointed it out that you were the most productive when you had those breaks. Yeah, this is the time where you could focus on you and do things. When I'm out on a vacation for a week in a different place like Sicily or anything, like, it's fun. And, I'm not going to not have fun on the month-long vacation. But, there's no time to just kind of sit and breathe. So I kind of like I like the idea of just having a month sabbatical to just do whatever I please. And hey, that means I'm not too far from home, which that means like if I'm just like, oh, you know what? I'll just take a flight home for a minute, grab some stuff and come back. Yeah, you can't do that if you're across the ocean in Japan. Like so I'm just I'm going to go for the month. I'm cool like that. I'm a rebel. Okay, there's another would you rather.
I think you just found. I think it's where you find a loophole to just keep making.
Hell yeah!
That's why I'm workaholic.
Cool. What? Did everything I say, the only thing you got out of it is Chrissy still wants to work?
Yeah, Chrissy wants an extra long vacation to work extra much
on her own stuff.
I'm just saying, if after a month-long vacation of an Abby and Theo short comes out, is that really a bad thing?
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a Theo-cation. But anyways, so Sex Swings and Pipe Bombs ask, I heard this on another podcast, so I can't take credit for this. But anyway, would you rather have seeds in your meat or bones in your fruit? My favorite flavor of question. Garbage.
No, it's the soup again.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we have a few things to figure out first. So when we say like, would you rather have seeds in your meat and bones in your fruit? So does this then? What does this? No, I mean the thing about seeds is you can, in the worst case, you can just eat them. They pass through. No harm done. So
Hey, you gotta spit out the steak seeds or else you're gonna grow steak in your stomach.
Okay, so it would basically really just be seeds in your steak. And instead of having an apple core, it's a literal apple bone you need to around.
What if there's an apple rib cage? What if it's like a fish and you gotta fully debone that?
See, you start talking like this, I'm immediately like, I'd rather take the seeds in the meat. I'm not dealing that the mental gymnastics to have to go, hey, this.
Think of the plus sides. Think of the plus sides if meat had seeds. You know how, like, if you have an onion in your fridge for too long, it starts sprouting? Like, hey, if you leave a steak in your fridge,
you can grow more meat.
Your dry-aged beef will
Yeah, I'm also just, for some reason, even though it's a would you rather, for some reason I imagine both in parallel. I didn't even think of that I have to pick one. I was just thinking about a world where those two things are switched. Fruits have bones and meat has seed.
No, you gotta pick one.
Okay.
Do you want seedy sausage or do you want
bony peaches?
Bony peaches.
That just sounds like
I have a thing about bones
like
in
no
general,
ass.
so I'm just like, I have a thing about bones, so I'm taking the seeds.
Look, I am the person who fully makes fun of people who eat boneless wings because you're just eating glorified chicken nuggets. I'll take the bony fruit. Because you know what? I'm an animal. I am a creature that is a descendant of other animalistic beings that have somehow made it to the top of the food chain with our opposable thumbs and canines. I want to feel like I am eating prey. And what is more prey than bone? What, Lauren?
I just don't feel right about I don't feel right about the whole concept of a rib cage being found in a fruit, okay? I just am not okay with that.
Yeah, but it would be the standard.
But you're eating the ribs of animals sometimes.
But fruit, you look at fruit and you don't think that.
You know what you call the part of fruit you eat? The flesh. You're just adding the extra step. You're putting flesh on the bone.
Yeah,
I don't see the
and
problem.
think about it. Seeds.
Fruit has skin.
Yeah, and
okay, but
think
would
about
you
it.
still be okay with it growing off of a tree and still somehow having bones in it?
Yeah, I mean, think
That's
about
the real question.
But here's like eating around a bone is kind of like a thing you do. It's what all meat eaters do. However, seeds have something specifically sexual about it. if you transfer it to a mammal. So if you have then seeds in your meat, you basically intake their seeds. I'm just trying to make your question your answer.
No, look, also...
No, I'm not questioning my answer. I would sooner eat the freaking seed than I would eat the bone. Fruit with bones in it. That is my answer.
I just want to know the logic of, like, meat with seeds, because seeds are the way that, you know, things grow new ones, which means that at some point, the meat has to pollinate. How the fuck do you pollinate meat? Is that where flies come in? Like, they are the bumblebees of this new universe? Like,
Suddenly we can't just go around with the Venus flytrap being like, hey, can you get rid of these?
Hey, the Venus flytrap would have bones.
That's not a fruit.
Look, does it produce seeds? Then it's a fruit. That's the classification of what makes a fruit. That's why peppers are technically fruit.
Compared to a vegetable.
Yeah.
Huh.
So look, that's the question. Would vegetables have bones too? Or are we just talking fruit?
Are zucchini fruit or vegetables?
Let me look that up.
Because they have tiny seeds in it.
That's one of the fruit. Yeah, zucchini is a fruit.
What about gherkin and cucumbers? They have seeds, tiny.
Cucumbers are classified as fruit because they contain tiny seeds in the middle and grow from the flower of the cucumber plant.
I'm not sure how to feel about it.
Well, yeah. Did anyone ever wonder why tomato is classified as a fruit? It's because it has seeds.
I never asked it. I just found it a fun tidbit to know. But yeah, they have seeds. True story.
Yeah. And broccoli doesn't have seeds. It's a vegetable. So there you go. So, and its term florets is just because of its formation. It's not actually a flower. But yeah, point being, if it has seeds, it's technically a fruit. So many plants would have bones. And by that logic, seeds would mean that the meat became a fruit, which completely will ruin the lives of every vegetarian ever.
No, we're not mixing the two. Remember, these are the universe where they don't coincide.
I'm saying the universe that you decided to reside in, Lauren, with the seeds, is a universe where vegetarians either don't exist or are actually carnivores. Good job, Lauren. You fucked up the vegans. Max.
Well, hey, there's no animal cruelty. There's no animal cruelty that way. That's the whole point of veganism.
Then there's plant cruelty.
Ha! 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 Yeah. In your world, you'd still have animals that would still have to die cruel deaths. So,
yeah.
In my world, I can just grow the fruit, the food I need.
The plants don't have
without any cruelty.
The fruit don't have like feelings or eyes or mouths or things that make you go, oh, wait, and then you have to remember that you're sending them to a slaughterhouse so you can have your veal. No, they're just there. They just have bones now. You know what? I mean, like, come on. It's a very believable timeline. I'm sure we can engineer something. And that's why I wanted to introduce my new Kickstarter for bone fruit. This is the way, look, I'm just saying, if we engineered fruit with bones, we can make so many people vegans and vegetarians because it satisfies the primal need to eat prey.
But that's not why they want to eat the...
No, I'm just saying. No. It's like when people have when people getting off of smoking have carrot sticks and stuff because it's the sensation of holding the cigarette. I'm just saying we're helping give a healthy placebo to the sensation. Max, I realize this entire time.
I am so sorry, Chris. You have come into a very interesting discussion.
Wait. Let me see Chris as a man of culture. I mean, he has it in his name and everything. He is the one true answer to person who can answer it. So, Chris, please, the floor is all yours. Would you rather have seeds in your meat or bones in your fruit? Please go.
Yes.
But then there's also the delay.
I realize that this has been mostly me and Lauren arguing and Lauren crying. Max, what is your pick?
I'm not crying. I'm just going. for me personally, I would say that the concept of bones in fruit would just throw me off. I already don't like
Chris
even if I do
Chris
like the
answer
flavor of
came very
ribs, I don't like
fast.
the process of eating a rib. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, either way. Max, are you picking seeds and
See,
meat or
Chris
both?
gets-
I actually also pick seeds and meat, but for different reasons. Uh, Namely, I mean, I'm going completely about the eating sensation, and usually having bones in it is kind of a pain. Like, even if you have a nice rib, then you have to go get all the good meat off the bone.
What's wrong with you people? Do you
Then-
not know how to eat meat? Like,
Then if I go for a chicken
Hey,
drum,
we know how to eat it. I'm not
Yeah.
saying we're enjoying it.
yeah, for a
That's my
chicken
point.
drum, you also have to go in there. You have all the in the joints. You have these hard parts that are gross to bite on. But no, seeds.
yeah,
I can handle seeds.
That's why you suck on the bone for the marrow. Like,
I never
do
do
you
this
think-
anyway, so I would not miss the bones.
hey, look, bone marrow is very good for you.
Yeah, but I still don't do it,
I know
so
it's
I
very
wouldn't
good,
miss
but
it.
the thing is when it comes to like chicken wings or something, the marrow is like already fried to the point you can't get it out of there.
I love eating chicken wings for that particular reason. I want to just feel like a caveman. I have hunted this thing by ordering it from DoorDash, and now it is mine. Like, also, there's an easy way to take meat off the bone. You just go like when it comes to a wing. Y'all are
Yeah,
just
I'm like
wait.
ribs. There is no easy way to do it unless you super slow
Yeah.
cook it to get it to fall off the bone. But even then, it's still work to eat it off.
You
the
eat
bone.
corn on the cob. Corn on the cob and eating a rib is generally
Who
the
says
same
I eat
thing.
corn on the cob? On the cob, I cut the corn off of the cob.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, now we can all agree that Lauren is wrong. Let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
I'm
Are you
sorry
happy
that I take
with
care
that?
of my teeth, and I would rather not, after 8.5 years of braces, not ruin my teeth by getting things stuck in there and misaligning my teeth because I'd be eating it off the cob. I'm just saying.
As I'm getting the next question, I will just have you know I never needed braces once in my life, and I ate corn on the cob, and my dentist says I have perfectly aligned teeth, and I
Well,
chew.
good for
bubble
you. You lucked out. My teeth were not formed that way.
some people in this friend group and watching have seen me open soda cans with my teeth. And so I think that I am a miracle. But yes,
It's
next
like,
question.
I have a perfect record of not dying. Yes, everybody has until they do.
You're not one to... Okay, mister, I have food poisoned myself. You are not one to talk. So
I haven't
shut up.
done it in years, coincidentally, kind of since Denim moved in. But still, I've gotten better by force or by outside force.
Anyways, let's see. Next question. Let's see. Not a lot of questions this week. I guess from Prince of
Throw a dart.
Inquiries, what is some genuine advice you could share on how we can better ourselves and mental perceptions of ourselves overall? Let's keep this short.
Oh God.
Therapy. Moving on.
You can share to us how we can better ourselves and our mental perception of ourselves overall.
Well, okay.
So
like the
self-image? Is in the sense of self-image?
Self-image. This is a great thing to ask to someone who has multiple forms of dysmorphia. The genuine answer, besides therapy, because therapy's definitely helped with that, is like, look, there are, by statistics, people who love you and people who care about you, and there are and you know, if people who have no obligation to love you, then you yourself are worth loving, and you have to learn how to love yourself. At least that's what I tell myself. But like the other thing is like, and look, I know that comes with the whole thing of you feeling like you need to feed off of the validation of others. That's not what I mean. It's more the thing of like, look, your own head is going to tell you that you're a piece of shit. but there's so much pragmatic evidence that shows the contrary. There is no obligation for other people to show the contrary of that. So something's there. But at the end of the day, look, the best piece of advice I can give is that no matter how long it takes for you to believe it, you just got to tell yourself you are enough because you are you. And some days you're going to believe it and some days you're not. But that's the world's mental health, baby. But that is, one of the things I have learned is that, like, you are enough and you are important because you are you. And because you are worth that, you should take the steps to betterment, whether that's like external things like getting healthy, working out, which also helps you mentally, or internal things like going to therapy, starting a journal, like doing things to help you build self-confidence. The first step is realizing you are worth that effort. So that's my advice. Take your meds.
As an allergic person, I can confirm that it's very, very important for your standard of life, or for quality of life. Take your meds.
Exactly. Take your meds.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if you guys have anything to piggyback on that.
Probably not as profound as yours, but like general things that I can potentially share from my rather privileged upbringing, and I still managed to go through my phases of not being happy, and but yeah, one thing that is something that I just realized with growing older and relaxing a little bit. Don't take shit too serious, like being relaxed about certain things, or allowing yourself to not take things as well, especially including yourself, too serious, helps a great lot. So if you can laugh about yourself, you have less things that bother you. You get hurt by less things, and if it makes you overall more relaxed, and then like something. As long as we are not talking about real serious shit, but if something mundane bad happens to you, you can shrug it off a lot easier. And it's like, oh well, that was shitty, but hey, I still have a lot of other good stuff for me going on. This one small mundane thing that just happened, it's really not that bad, whatever. And beyond that, I would say do things that you like and avoid things that you don't like, which obviously still everything needs to do with compromise. I mean, if you have a job you really, really love, great, but most people have to a certain degree compromise with the jobs they take between I liking
I mean,
it,
everything in life is in some form a compromise.
Fair point,
like,
but
you can't live completely unhinged, otherwise you'd be like the most malevolent form of selfish.
yeah.
Like,
yeah, but still, it's also like, if there's something that you completely loathe, try to avoid it if possible. If there are things where you're like, oh, I would like to do it, start it, get into it, if it's reasonable. Like if you want to draw, start drawing. If you want to write, start writing. Do shit, and also get out, be active. That's the thing that when I too long are stuck inside just behind my computer, if I then eventually go back out, do sports or whatever, it feels so much better. Being physically fit helps you to be mentally fit.
I know that both of us have had moments this week where it was like dragging yourself to do like fitness, and then you feel better afterwards. Yeah. It's like, get mental betterment is not fun. I'm gonna be very clear there. Like, helping your brain is sometimes one of the most arduous experiences you are going to have. But the whole pastiche of the best things in life aren't easy is fucking true. And there is nothing more hard but more fulfilling than having peace of mind. Lauren, what about you? I'm sorry that someone asked such a not awkward cast flavored question.
Well, and like without repeating what you guys both said, which everything you said was pretty much would be stuff that I would have said. But to add to that as an addendum, yeah, out of my own experience, I would say, because I know it's going to sound like whether you've experienced it or not, is going through, like, if you find yourself ending up going towards meditation, I know it sounds like something that would be like a religious thing. It's not. It's just centering yourself. It's finding a moment, even a few minutes out of your day, where you can kind of just sit and you kind of just try and empty. I know how hard it can be to empty your mind from, like, whatever is bothering you, whatever's troubling you. But there is always going to be time within your day, even if it's at the end of it, just before bed, anything like that, that helps immensely to just sit and clear your mind. If you need to light a candle, which I have done, I still do, and sit and you have sometimes if you need a little bit of guided meditation, there are tracks for that, completely 100% free, or you need just a music, something that helps you
Just
kind of
either
zone
have
out for a little bit.
Either have YouTube Premium or ad block on if you're doing guided meditation tracks. No, I'm just telling you, it's really fun to have one that's supposed to help you sleep, and then like 45 minutes in, you hear a fucking ad that's blasting on, like talking about a Hyundai Subaru or something.
Yeah.
I have YouTube Premium, by the way, but that happened when I had to borrow Brett's phone when mine was broken, because he doesn't have it, and he very much doesn't like it when I switch to my YouTube account on his phone.
Well,
yeah, so
people are weird.
But yeah, a lot of it comes down to practicing self-love, self-care in any ways that you can, and it doesn't mean, like, I can't say it's like self-diagnosing yourself or anything like that. It's like it's recognizing in the moment sometimes the little things that you realize, if I can do this to help myself, and be it sometimes maybe even a friend can help you with that too. If you have a trusted person that is like you can talk to and talk through with things, that immensely helps. It helps even just having like the feeling of a support system.
With consent. Do not trauma dump on people who don't ask.
Yes. Yes. That's why I emphasize somebody you trust, who is willing to, like, who is there and is open to hearing you and letting you speak and letting you have kind of a moment to just vent. But I'm not saying it's like, don't go to therapy. Please go to therapy if that's something you really truly need to.
I genuinely think that everyone needs therapy to some extent. Having
to a degree, yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, even if you're like not like PTSD-ridden, depression, bipolar person, just as an example, I think having like someone to help you out, like work through a mental block or emotions, who has certification for that stuff, is an invaluable source, especially since, like, we're kind of only just learning to how mental health works, and we're all kind of messes with it in some way, and especially after 2 years of a pandemic, I think everyone needs therapy to some extent, because goddamn, that shit does something mentally to normal people. But yes, thank you for that question. I guess cool. Please let there be a funny one in here now.
Well, like, can we get to like where's one that we can like start fighting over again?
Yes, there's a secondary
this unity is
one
driving
for
me
medical
insane.
I guess this one, I don't like this one because this one has no input from you. This is just okay. Ask Awkward from Magical Dude. If Key and Abby were in the Lupin universe and Key was dating Lupin and Abby was dating Zenigata, would you two still be sisters, all things considered? Yes.
Canonically, yes.
I mean, this dynamic exists often enough that, like, you have those arch rivals, and then they have the associates, and the associates are actually relatives or good friends or both, or
the found family trope.
Yeah, this exists so often in media.
Yeah, like, I feel like Lauren has drawn enough art plenty of times of like Lupin and Zenny at each other's throats, and then like Abby and Key just being like, same time next week? Yeah, okay, cool. Like it's those moments where they have to have a truce because their little girlfriends want to hang out. Like it's a look. It would happen also just for the sake of comedy, because there's a lot of funny that can happen there, and at the end of the day, Lupin's a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
But
and so yeah, like, and then I'm like, and the way I have things out, I'm like, yeah, that's how it works. So I'm like, you kind of hit the nail right on the head. It's just, yeah, that's just how it is.
Yeah, go-karting with Bowser is a trope for a reason. Look, there's plenty of scenes in Lupin, if you go through the franchise, where Zenny and Lupin are actually very friendly to each other. They have respect. So there you go. There's your question in this weird AU self-indulgent canon that I guess exists. Okay. Here's one from Odie, or is this gag over yet? Never. It'll never be over. What is the weirdest moment you've had to work with when making content? So I guess like a weird content creation story? Or maybe like something weird you had to do when making something. I guess those are ways you could format it. I mean, like, I've been part of things where I've had to either do something weird while recording, or like I just did a live action thing, which by nature just is weird. I did remember one time back in the Bony days, we recorded like live action versions of TF2 segments, and someone passed out during recording. Not me for once, but someone in the room just fucking ate shit and fell to the ground, and then like like people had to go and try to help this fucking person. It's like, you know, then you have these little like group of idiots, you know, recording little segments, and it's just like, what?
In a bathtub.
There are two things happening here. Oh yeah, we were
The
all three of us recorded
yeah.
of us.
The three of
that
us.
video's not up anymore. Yeah, because the best lighting was in the fucking bathroom.
Also, we could do the stupid joke with the curtain.
Yep. God, I am so mad that video is not online anymore, because that gag was genuinely funny. I did have to drown myself for a recording once. To explain, I forgot what the thing was, but it required, like, you know, gargling noises. So what I just did is that I just took a cup and just went, oh, you know, that kind of shit, which is something people have done. I actually took it because I remember watching a behind the scenes of an Ed's World short where they recorded Ed like getting drowned while to record a line because he was getting blasted in the face with like Coca-Cola or something in the cartoon. So, you know, you gotta do certain things for those things. I mean, recording's just weird because, like, while the audience sees it as the best of its moments, there are just, when you're the actual one setting up everything, it's just, you're just alone. You're making a joke with no one laughing in the background. Like, I've had plenty of times where I've had to record, like, lines that sound funny because they're far away. But if someone was a fly on the wall in the room and they just see a random woman, like, standing in the corner of her room screaming, that's not funny. That's a mental breakdown. Like, I mean, look, Max has actually recorded more live action things than I have, so, including that 2.5 Men thing.
Oh, yeah.
You must have, like, weird things that you had to do A&E Corp, though.
I mean, actually the very first episodes or whatever were weird. It was like, I had a very supportive girlfriend at the time, and she was indulging. I had a green screen in the back. I had a green screen hung up over 2 chairs. I didn't have a proper setup back then. Horrific lighting, like basically any lamp that I could find in the house to create this. This was in college days still. Earliest, no, this was school days? No, it was early college days, I believe. Anyways, and the thing was, I wanted to do this running gag, which in one cut, where there's this one character and he keeps pulling out different things from behind his bag. And
Is it the butler?
The butler, exactly. Just in a long, uninterrupted cut, just standing in the background, being able to have random stuff in his hands. And
I hate that I was able to tell by the body language you were presenting which one of your characters it is. I am garbage.
And she was hiding behind this wrist-high green screen, like on the floor, lying and reaching me holding me the things up. They're I believe I'm not sure if the recording still exists somewhere, but it was
I remember one that never saw the light of day. And it was us recording stuff for a reaction video that never came out, and we were trying to mimic miraculous ladybug transformation sequences.
Yeah.
Ah, God. That one was fun, but it didn't help that at the time I had like bright green and blue hair, so the green screen kept chroma keying my hair, and it was just like, well, shit. But that never saw the light of day, but that was fun. That was back when Miraculous Ladybug was fun.
When you could still ignore the red flags.
Yeah, but either way, I think that's all ours.
Yeah.
I mean, Lauren, I don't think. Did you?
I don't make videos. So
I know, but you went to an art college. I didn't know if you were like part of student films or anything.
Oh no, I was working on my own, and I was mostly the only when it got to later projects, I was working on them solo, except for like my thesis, where originally I was making it solo, but then like everything else outside of school started falling apart for me. Like my grandma passed away and all that stuff in the middle of me working on production, and I had to go and tend to funeral stuff. And that was I had to keep running back and forth to home and everything to take care of my family and stuff. And luckily the LMU Animation Club dove in, because it was all a bunch of animation students that were there, and a bunch of them all jumped off of projects they were already helping to help get my project done on time.
What a G.
Because I was having like breakdowns at that point, going like, I'm not able to like get all this done normally what I would have if none of this happened. And even then I was lying to myself to a degree, because I was like, I can just, if I push through this, I'll get this through by myself. But that was
like the college experience to me.
Yeah, I'm like, well, it's like, that's what I'm like, I'm like, in terms of like,
I just imagine
it wasn't even that it helped in the creation of stuff. I do remember, though, just to keep ourselves awake through like all-nighters when I was working on my sophomore film, which was a group project. All of us were like up late in the animation labs, and I remember we were playing was the Oreo challenge, where you had to balance it, where you had an Oreo on your forehead and you had to like without your hands get it down to your mouth. So that we were doing stuff like that. We played Slenderman at like 3 a.m. And we projected it on the big screen in
this conversation so much.
2012, baby. But I mean, that's out of my experience. Otherwise, I'm like, I can't even say if there was anything like, because I don't make video content.
See, I'm just imagining. Well, see, the thing I imagine with you, because you were an animator, is that you had to record live action reference for yourself sometimes, and it's just a weird experience.
I didn't do much of that actually in college, because we were mostly going off of like, I mean, maybe we pantomimed it for storyboard stuff, but for animation stuff, it was a lot of like, we ended up at least I ended up doing a lot of straight ahead stuff. But but in later stuff, I ended up.
Yeah, you had that one piano short where you were like super proud because you were able to do like this finger thing, and you were like,
I think that was and that was the one where I had to like, I was literally, I don't think I even filmed it. I literally just like pantomimed. I felt it, like I felt my way through the.
Yeah, I remember you were like so proud of it. I think
I was going like that, and it was just like I literally was feeling my way through it, and I kept doing that. Yeah. So there was that shot.
Well, okay, now we have the FMK, because I just realized the time. This is why you don't do an awkward cast with 3 people that have known each other for literal years. Or near 2 decades in one case. So, Magical Dude swipes the FMK Lupin style. Since we have all 3 idiots here, I want to do a special one for Abby. Fuck, marry, kill, himbo edition. Now, Lauren,
Uh-oh.
I apologize. I know you don't classify him as a himbo, but Zenigata from Lupin the Third.
Hey,
Baloo
different
from
incarnations are.
Yeah, especially part 2. Let's just say part 2 Zenigata, like funny Zenigata. At least for you, Lauren. I know Max's only exposure is like the first Cagliostro in part 4 and part 6.
And the movie.
And the movie. Yeah, that's why I said the first. That's the name of the movie.
Oh.
Lupin the Third, the first. Great name. Baloo from the Jungle Book. That one's weird to me. I didn't know he classified as a himbo, but okay. And Fred Jones from
I think they're going off of the Saber Spark print that I made. I swear to God. Because...
Okay, then it's not Jungle Book Baloo, it's Tailspin Baloo at that point, isn't it?
No, it was Jungle Book Baloo that I put in there.
Oh,
but I did it as a joke. But I did it as a joke to have a Launchpad looking back at him like, "Do I know you?" So I did that, but because technically,
I'm just arguing. Tailspin Baloo is much more himbo-like than the movie's Baloo.
Yeah,
he's still very competent and proactive, while himbos are usually like the heart of a group, but not the people who get
Magical.
Stuff done.
I know you're in the stream.
Fred technically is a himbo.
No, Fred is out of the 3. Fred is most definitely, but. Magical, I know you're in the stream. Can we change Baloo into Launchpad McQuack? I want the more objective himbo here from the Disney afternoon. Please and thank you. Okay, Odie, no. Fred is definitely a himbo. Shut up. Have you watched Mystery Incorporated? The dude's in it. The dude only knows one thing.
Have you watched Freddie Prinze Jr.? do interviews for the first Scooby-Doo movie?
Oh, you mean
that right there is a himbo.
Keller is like, oh, this is such a great experience playing something from your childhood. Oh, I get to ride the Mystery Machine. That's really cool. But yes, anyway, Lauren, you get to go first. Oh yes, so I'm saying DuckTales 20. What year did DuckTales?
Yeah, 2017.
2017 Launchpad. That one is Beck Bennett Launchpad. That guy's an idiot, and I love him. But
so switch that out for Baloo, right?
Yeah. So you got Zenigata, Launchpad McQuack, and Fred Jones. Lauren, you get to go first. Guest goes first. Are you gonna marry Zenny or doink him?
I'm gonna marry him. Going for the long haul. Oh, but now it's like going waiting for the other two.
Yes, Lauren, please. Tell us why you want to hop on Launchpad's McQuack or get into Fred's trap. Pick Launchpad.
I feel like maybe it's because I've had less instances where I get mad at Fred. Or no, I have less instances where I get mad at Launchpad versus Fred. So I would probably go with, in terms of having the more of the softness of the true himbo qualities, then I would then.
But you still have to fuck one of them.
Yeah. So are you going to fuck Launchpad? What are you typing, Meg?
Yes.
Furry! Everyone point and say furry!
Furry!
Okay.
And purely because of just, again, it seems like he always deliberately ends up putting, I mean, not always, not seemingly, he always does, ends up putting his other teammates in danger for the sake of something to work out.
That's true. He does put Shaggy.
Also, is he not technically a teenager?
No, he's 18.
Okay. So I was like, canonically, what age is he even?
He's jailbait. Like,
you
keep in mind.
So you would you are like, hey, it's better to kill a teenager?
No, it's just eliminating from my roster.
Oh, there you go. All right, Max, you get to go next.
Okie dokie.
You get a nice sausage fest here, buddy.
I do. I just try to. Which direction do I want to rotate it? I mean,
none of these are my type, so I don't win any.
yeah. Yeah, I'm also like, I'm very, with Fred, my most recent incarnation of Fred was just the one from Mystery Incorporated, and as you keep promising, he gets better, but in the very beginning, he is so one-note and annoying.
We stopped watching Mystery Incorporated for a while because
But
Max
the
would
thing is,
complain about Fred every time we would watch it,
because
and it got annoying.
there's no development, at least in the first few episodes. But yeah, the problem is he already got killed, so I still need to keep him around. The question is, do I just want to fuck and dump him, or do I want to marry him? So the question is, who do I want to murder? Or would I rather... Yeah, would I rather... I guess I do you. I guess I do you a solid key, and I'm going to murder the Nigata, so you don't have to do it, and there is no rift between you and Lauren.
Nice. Okay. Thank you for that.
You're welcome. Simply because, yeah, I have the least connection to him, especially in comparison to you two. So it's like, I probably would rather murder a stranger if somebody has to die.
There you go. So who are you gonna fuck? Here's the big question.
I mean, that is very easy. If it rotates this way, this means I'm gonna fuck Freddy. I mean, let's be honest, between the three of them, he is the most conventionally attractive man, and he has a little bit of a metro thing going on with his Asgard and everything, so he's probably a bottom. So what I'm saying is...
I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't that. I did not expect to hear. Here, my reasoning is that Fred would probably be a bottom because of his ascot. Oh god, this is like the time where I made that Rainbow Rocks thumbnail for you, and someone replied with that having a handkerchief in your back pocket means you're into anal sex. Like, okay, so you're gonna fuck Freddy because you get to top.
Yes, and
you get to Scooby Dooby Doo him. So okay, why are you killing?
Absolutely. Totally Scooby Dooing. Like in one entry, out another, wacky music, left and right, yeah, the usual.
Oh god, I'm imagining someone having sex to the chase scene music. Just no. Can someone please? I know there's a Scooby-Doo porno. Can someone take that, but overlay like the Hanna-Barbera sound effects while they're having sex? Because I know that they don't do it in there. I want porn with Hanna-Barbera sound effects.
And editing it accordingly.
Exactly. Please. I didn't think I would need this, and I wouldn't ask for porn usually from you guys, but...
But yeah, as also Odie points out correctly, marrying Launchpad McQuack, I'm not entirely sure why. Let me see. Because technically he is a pilot, he technically can fly stuff. He just has his slightly weird conception of landing things. So
and you get to be friends with Dark Buck.
Yeah, that's just also true. Let's get dangerous. So, he lives an interesting life, I guess. And he actually discovers real mysteries, unlike Freddy, who is just like demasking ghosts left and right, and they turn all to be old capitalists who want a business venture by putting on a mask and scaring teens.
Well, I mean, they're trying to scare people off the property, so the property values are lower. So
something like this, yes.
A broken housing market. That is the real villain of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. But Launchpad is a guy to actually hang out with at home. Now just think about DuckTales 2017 when he is trying to bond with the housekeeper lady. Now he's a dude. He likes to watch shows. He has fan fictions. He likes dress up. He's a guy you can hang with and have fun with.
Oh no, you did not do me a solid here.
Oh, right.
I just realized.
Oh,
Because I'm not. Because yeah, you kept me from killing Zenigata, but now I'm gonna be a home wrecker. Okay, so yeah.
So
Awesome.
you are marrying one of of Shaggy's friends instead of him. You're wrecking Lauren's home, and you're going to murder a cinnamon roll, the only true himbo on the list, Launchpad.
Yeah, so let me explain my reasonings. Let
Yes,
me
please.
explain to the court. Okay, so I'm going to marry Fred because that means that by association I would have to become part of Mystery Inc. And we all know that entire gang is a polycule. They are. You can't look at a fucking van full of teenagers
And a dog.
going across the country and not be like, they have all done something to each other.
And the dog.
So not to the dog, that's a crime.
Stop! No,
can
that's what I was gonna say. Please do not include the.
He can talk, therefore he is sentient, so it would not be
We're not
bestiality.
having this conversation.
We are not about to cross any line.
I have seen art that references this. I have seen AUs where people have made it that fucking Scrappy-Doo is the child of Daphne and Scooby. I don't like this reality, so that's not it. Yeah, I know. You've never heard of that?
No.
It's great.
I mean, yeah.
Look, you
where
lived
did
in
he
the
come from,
in the Scooby-Doo circles far more than I do, so it's just.
Okay, but yes, outside of the dog, that means that I just have the chance to be with everyone, and that includes Shaggy, so there you go. And Velma. And I love Velma. So there you go. I am straight, but I get to hang out with Velma. We could be sassy nerd friends together. 2 sassy hot nerds in one van? That is going to be the coolest van in the world. Okay. Then I'm going to kill Launchpad because I'm protecting lives.
Oh.
He is one crash away from just causing 9/11 again.
That is a true point. Yeah, I mean, he keeps crashing airplanes into things.
Yeah.
Uncle Scrooge, he hit the fucking Pentagon.
Oh no, Launchpad hit the Pentagon. God, I hate that meme, but it's so funny. But okay, and then I'm gonna.
Yes.
Lauren, let me explain.
I hold zero judgment because this is just the nature of the game, but I'll hear you out
but
anyway.
here's the thing. I am going to fuck Zenigata because there is a 10%, not more than 10%. I have seen all these Lupin specials. There is a good chance that's just Lupin in a mask.
Yeah.
I can't even blame you for that logic.
Look, you can't argue. It has happened many of times. And you know what? If this is the AU we described earlier, I can fuck some. This could be like in The Woman Called Fujiko Mine when fucking Fujiko pegged him and got information out of Zenigata. I could get information out of Zenigata by fucking him. So you know what? And then I can help the Lupin crew. I am fucking for a cause.
Fucking in the name of.
Fuck the police! Fuck the police!
Literally in this case, man.
Lauren, how do you feel about that?
I mean, sound logic, honestly.
God damn it, Lauren.
I'm not upset because it's just the nature of the game.
Still not. She's refusing. So often on the show.
God,
that she still hasn't caught on to it.
And let's
is awkward.
A and Y and Key say hi to the people in the chat. The memes are seen on this live stream as they talk about random crap. It's time for awkward guests. It's the awkward. Random guests and funny gags on the awkward guests. Artwork and analysis which you do not